action.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the cave, or the lair as we call it. Welcome back to my home, and today we're going to show you a couple of my speakers. Very nice speakers, Bowers Wilkins. Just picked these up. We had some this is an 804. That is a part of what is now known as the Nautilus series. Back then it was known as the Matrix series. This speaker was made in 1980, early 1980s, and it has the Kevlar drivers that I highly like and enjoy when buying used speakers. And the reason for this is because the Kevlar is tough, and I know that I'm going to get a driver that isn't going to be falling apart, that can be either repaired or fixed very easily, and that should last for 50, 100 years. So that's why I generally like these Bowers Wilkins speakers, and I buy them all the time. I enjoy them, and I recommend them to my watchers and viewers. So we got the 804 here, Series 3, 1980s. Or no, this is Series 1 Matrix. And we got the Series 3 Bowers Wilkins DM604. I've had the 603s, I've had the 602s, and I've had the 601s. When talking about the numbers, the 600 series and the Bowers Wilkins series goes up the larger the speaker. And when talking about their top line, the numbers go down when talking about the bigger speakers. So the 603, which this is not, is a little larger than this 803 is a little larger than the 804 that I have before you. But their sounds are very comparative. The only thing that I noticed with the 803 over the 804 was that the woofer just had a little bit more bass to it, being a little bigger of a driver. You got Thiel's Law and other things in there that define that. So the largest speaker does pay. The speaker that I bought here has had the common problem already dealt with, and I'll take this thing down. The Matrixes had terrible basses. They had feet on them with little tiny fasteners in this plate up here, and the plate was particle board, and it just wasn't made very well. So most of them were bent that I see. They're not straight. They're usually broken off, and they're just not any good. Luckily for me, when I picked up these, the man had already picked up a piece of wood, painted it black, and put it on there. This is just a piece of plywood, top grade plywood, birch plywood. And then he put these feet on there, and they actually work very well. The speaker remains very stable, and you don't have the same problem anymore that you did with the other thing. You can, of course, I might pull this off and put on carpet spikes or something later on, but right now this is just perfect for me. And so that is something to look for when you're buying these speakers. And all of the Matrixes that I have seen have had this common problem with the feet. The feet are really nice that do come with it. They are both carpet spikes, and they come with a little plate for hard floors that you can get. But unfortunately, they're just not attached very well. So let's take off the cover of this, break it open, and look. I've noticed this on a lot of them, a little bit of discoloration on the drivers. It really has nothing. I have not noticed any change in sound due to it, and I've seen a ton of speakers of this kind with it. These are the Kevlar drivers that Bowers Wilkins used to be famous for, and the reason why I highly recommend these speakers. Kevlar is a very tough material. It should last forever, and so having it as one of their materials really gives me confidence when I'm buying a used speaker that it might last for another 50 years. Even, you know, it should last forever. These drivers are tough. The only thing that you have to watch out for is just make sure the foam around it is soft when buying these. You can buy these for about $600, maybe $700 on the used market. I've seen them up $800 and $900. Depends if you're getting them shipped and the condition that they're in. Tremendous speaker. Then over here we got the 604s. Woohoo! 604s. 604s has a lot more driver space. It's a bigger case than the 804. And it is, it's got the port down on the bottom, and it's got two woofer, aluminum drivers for the woofers, and one medium Kevlar driver. Again, when you're buying these, make sure the foam is soft. This is starting to get a little thicker, but it's still very good. In a year or two, I might have to peel this off and replace it. Replacing it is actually not hard, and being that they are Kevlar, they're a little easier to replace, but you can always hire a professional if you want to do it. Some great videos on YouTube if you want to do it yourself. I try not to discourage people from doing things themselves, so, you know, go for it. Try it out. If you ever need to take off this plate, they're behind there, inside of the holes. Another little tip. You just take out these grommets and you can get to the screws and take off the front plate. This does not have that feature. On the bottom is that plate that we showed. That comes off, exposing the crossover down there. On this, the crossover is through the back plate, which we'll show you in a little bit. And you just take off the crossover and you can reach inside and get the electronics, or you could take off these drivers if you need to and reach inside and get the electronics that way as well as the whole front plate comes off there. Sound-wise, my review now. I prefer the Matrix. My girlfriend prefers it too. I tried to come up with some descriptors. They're very close, very, very close. So if you see one of them, if you see this one, grab it. They're both at about the same price point on the used market. But this just is fuller. My girlfriend says rounder. I'm not sure how to explain it. They're very close to each other, but it feels that the tweets and the highs and the mids are just fuller, and the soundstage is larger. It feels like you're facing a wall of sound. Even though you've got a larger speaker here, they both feel the same size. And then when we had the 803s in place, which is a little bigger, they were very, very, very aware. Very large, and the entire wall sounded like it was moving. And both me and my girlfriend had noticed this. And so we're actually going to turn this one into a surround sound speaker and replace this one with a 802 in the future when I find one. And that's why we sold the 803. We loved it so much. We wanted to keep, upgrade to the Matrix series and start enjoying that. But it will take a little bit to find all the right speakers, which is part of the fun of being an audiophile and a gearhead. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Oh, I didn't tell you about the 600 series. What's its advantage? These drivers here, they're just so boomy. They offer a lot of bass. Great for home entertainment systems, home theaters. And you could get these for at the same price, about $600. So, I mean, to me, they're a steal. You can't buy anything new for $600 that will compare, that I know of. Anything new, you would have to start at $1,500, maybe $2,000 to get anything near it. They're just incredible. They're really nice speakers. Bowers and Wilkins did a great job on both of them. Recommend them both, but my preference is the Matrix. Thank you very much. Bye.